Tonight, our special coverage on Israel's war as social media platforms act as important tools for shaping perceptions about the events in Gaza. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Aisha Ashraf. Today is the 52nd day since Israel started its war in Palestine and the 5th day of the truce deal. The World Health Organization has issued a stark warning that more Palestinian lives could be lost due to diseases than to Israeli bombings in Gaza. A spokesperson for the organization has expressed concerns over the tragic collapse of Al-Shifa Hospital, Gaza's largest medical facility, and the detention of its medical staff by Israeli forces. The European Union's commissioner says there is an urgent need for increased fuel supplies to Gaza to ensure humanitarian access and aid deliveries. He says humanitarian assistance should be based on the needs of the residents of Gaza rather than arbitrary restrictions. The United Nations is set to deliver aid including medical supplies, food, and winter gear in Gaza. The delivery is facilitated by the US military. Qatar has sent 31 tons of aid to Gaza via Egypt. Israel says it has approved the release of 50 Palestinian women prisoners under a swap deal with Hamas. At the time of writing, 15,000 Palestinians have lost their lives in Gaza since the onset of war. Out of these, 6,150 are children, 4,000 are women. 7,000 Palestinians are missing and believed to be under rubble. At least 4,700 children and women are missing. Israel is releasing over 300 Palestinian prisoners during a temporary ceasefire, but the narrative surrounding this decision is raising concerns. The Israeli government and its supporters have portrayed these prisoners as terrorists. However, the truth is different. Most of these prisoners are teenagers. 233 of them are not convicted of any crimes. They are merely termed as under arrest. The Israeli narrative promotes the fiction that these Palestinians are in the middle of fair judicial proceedings in which they will be tried in an impartial process. But Israel's military court system lacks transparency and fairness. For the lack of transparency and ambiguous procedures, the Israeli court system has faced international criticism. Critics argue that if these prisoners have committed violent crimes, they should receive due process and be tried in civilian courts with full rights. These objections make the accusations by the Israeli military against Palestinian prisoners question its credibility. In addition to this, Israel's far-right minister Itamar Ben-Gvir has prohibited Palestinians from celebrating their release. He says any form of celebration is supporting terrorism. In the ongoing Israel's war on Palestine, social media platforms like TikTok and X are playing a significant role in shaping public opinion. Users' feeds are tailored to their preferences, reinforcing their existing beliefs. TikTok, which is popular among younger users, recommends content based on users' interactions. On TikTok, pro-Palestinian content is gaining more traction among Gen Z users. British Liberal Democrat MP Layla Moran, whose mother is Palestinian, says she gets an influx of messages, including from young people urging a ceasefire. She says they seem to have been inspired to act because of TikTok videos and Instagram reels shared around over WhatsApp. Videos on TikTok using the hashtag #IStandWithIsrael have gathered more than 240 million views. In comparison, videos using the term "I Stand with Palestine" have garnered more than 870 million views. Some users receive hate and even anti-Semitic abuse. TikTok says it has removed over 1.1 million videos for violating its rules during the conflict. On the other hand, social media platform X, favored by politicians and journalists, has pro-Israeli content gaining prominence. The State of Israel's account on X has garnered significant views. Israeli President Isaac Herzog has criticized Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's recent call for maximum restraint in the Gaza Strip. In an interview with Canadian media, Herzog says he had previously spoken to Trudeau about enabling the safe exit of Canadian civilians from Gaza. He says Israel has been making efforts to protect the civilian population in Gaza by issuing warnings before military strikes via leaflets and text messages. Herzog also denounced the actions of Hamas, calling them, quote, an evil empire whose ambitions go beyond Israel. Trudeau has been calling for a temporary pause in the fighting to allow humanitarian aid to Gaza. He recently criticized Israel, saying that it must stop the killing of innocent Palestinians. In response, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu highlighted what he calls Israel's efforts to protect civilians. Netanyahu then accused Hamas as a reason for the killing of Palestinians. Trudeau's remarks have been criticized by other politicians as well. Former Liberal MP Michael Levitt says Trudeau's words will have a grave impact in the face of rising anti-Semitism. Canada's stance at the United Nations is under scrutiny in the midst of the Israeli aggression on Gaza. Canada has historically supported a two-state solution for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. However, recently Canada abstained from a crucial UN vote calling for a humanitarian truce in Gaza. Canadians for Justice and Peace in the Middle East, a nonprofit advocacy group, is denouncing Canada's stance. Critics argue that Canada's pro-Israel stance harms its reputation and principles. Canada also voted against resolutions condemning Israeli settlements and supporting Palestinian refugees. While some see this as support for multilateralism, others believe it weakens Canada's influence globally. On the other hand, Canada has provided financial support for the United Nations agency operating in Palestine during all of the years it abstained on resolutions supporting its work. It recently committed a new injection of $60 million in funding. Experts believe while Canada clearly aspires to play a global role, the question is, who will trust it enough to take the offer? An unexpected early morning raid by Toronto police on the homes of activists accused of putting posters at an Indigo bookstore is raising concern. The news comes after Toronto police this past Wednesday broke front doors, confiscated computers and cell phones, and put people in handcuffs, including the elderly. The cost of the raid is estimated to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. It is being described as unusual for a case involving posters and washable paint. The activists allegedly put posters at the bookstore. The CEO of the store, Heather Reisman, supports the Israeli military. Police are treating it as a suspected hate-motivated offense. Legal experts are calling the operation an overreach and a case of police bias. Several activists, including community organizers, teachers, and labor activists, were arrested during the raids. The arrests have raised questions about freedom of expression. The accused individuals are scheduled to appear in court in January 2024. Secret intelligence documents obtained by the US-based online media outlet The Intercept reveal India's alleged global assassination program. The alleged assassination program is meant to target Sikh and Kashmiri activists living in foreign countries. Pakistani intelligence assessments support Canada's earlier claims of Indian involvement in the assassination of Sikh Canadian activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar on Canadian soil. The documents show India's external intelligence agency, Research and Analysis Wing, planning assassinations on individuals and religious institutions. The target list is alleged to be supporting the freedom movement in Kashmir in India's Punjab state. The Canadian government had previously accused Indian intelligence agents of orchestrating Nijjar's assassination. The leaked documents produced by Pakistan's Intelligence Bureau suggest that Indian intelligence agents based in the United Arab Emirates and Afghanistan are being activated to carry out operations in Pakistan. According to a Pakistani intelligence assessment, this summer, Indian intelligence targeted 2 Sikh activists in Pakistan for assassination in the cities of Lahore and Islamabad. Little intelligence has been disclosed to the public about these killings to date. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad.